People of Earth, how are you? My name is Al. Across the table from me is my good friend Joe. Together we do this thing called Kinda Right. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good, Al.
It's July 3rd. I know you don't like when I say the date and all that. I used to put the date on the show. It's July 3rd, the day before the 4th, and it's fucking hot, and we like it. I like it. I don't know if Joe likes it. I fucking love it.
I'm not a big fan of the heat, but it is summertime, so you can't bitch.
Before we get any further with this, when I come here Thursday night, can I borrow a vehicle until like Sunday?
I don't see why not.
Because I'm down 2 cars.
What happened to your vehicles?
Well, I told you about the Nissan, right? And the whole ball joint thing.
Yeah.
So it turns out her brother-in-law can fix cars, so he's doing it. I'm going to trade him a little sweat equity. He's finishing his upper level in his house. He bought one of these houses that didn't have upper level finished.
Yeah.
And he's finishing it. So I told him I would paint it for free anyway. He's like, nah, I'll pay it. So now I'm going to paint that. He's going to do a little work on both my vehicles. However, the red truck is impounded. So
why is the red truck impounded?
So I've been driving the old man's car around while we're figuring out what we're going to do with the Nissan, you know? And today was one of those days. Kat went up to Chelmsford, right? You know how she goes up to Chelmsford for her job once in a while, New Hampshire? You're aware of that situation.
Yes.
So usually I drive the Nissan. She drives the truck to work because it's 5 minutes up the street, right, for her job. The fucking truck's awful on gas. So.
Right.
And it's got 235,000 miles on it or whatever. It's running great, by the way, for a $300 truck. So this morning, I took the truck. She took the old man's beach buggy to Chelmsford. Well, she didn't leave yet, thank God. So I'm in Lakeville. I won't even tell you what the corner is because you don't know, but it's by this fucking church, and they sit there every other day in the morning, and they just fucking put in license plates on their fucking computer as there's 8 cars stopped. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just fucking. And I've been pulled over there for other shit that I didn't get tickets for, by the way. I talked my way out of. Literally the 4th time I've been pulled over by a motherfucker that's on that corner in 8 months, right? So, I pull over. I pull out my registration. I go, what the fuck? I look at it because I'm like, what do I got, a tail light out or something? Oh, no. The registration expired the last day of June. We lost track of it. It was also a transfer.
I wonder if I got one of those.
It was a transfer from that fucking black Blazer I was driving around. I didn't re-register it. I transferred it. So I lost track. You know what I mean? In my mind, I didn't have to register the thing till October. Stupid, right? I'm just stupid, right? So he goes, well, it's not renewable. What? Well, you must owe excise tax or something. He goes, I'm not going to give you a ticket. It's a $100 ticket, but because I believe you that you didn't know about it. Because I told him the quick story about, I don't drive this. It's in my name, but I don't drive it. And I remain cool. He's a good guy, probably a couple years older than me. Good enough guy, right?
Right.
He goes, I got to tow it. I'm sorry. He goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going to work in New Bedford. He goes, is there anyone you can call? I said, I'll try. My wife, hopefully she didn't leave yet. He goes, and I'll give you a ride back to the station. It's fucking hot out. You can sit in the air conditioning. I'm like, thank you. So they end up towing it, right? So now, before it gets towed, it takes about 20 minutes for the guy to get there. And then I even said something to the cop. I'm like, well, he just got himself a free $300 truck because I'll be bringing him my fucking title, you know, because this is what's going through my mind now. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck because now I'm thinking it's going to be way too much to get this thing out of Hawk, you know, which it's not, by the way. It's reasonable. So the fucking tow guy comes up. He goes, oh, do you know what you're doing? Right on the tow guy's card, it says, we repair and buy fixable vehicles. So I don't know if he was looking to make a deal or he was excited because that fucking truck's not bad.
Right.
It's not bad. It runs like a fucking top. So I go, look, man, all I know is I'm fucking broke. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. So in the meantime, this other cop was this fucking bull dyke, fucking Puerto Rican fucking cunt. Actually, I think she's Portuguese. Emiliana Mello from fucking Lakeville. She's a cop and she's a cunt. This other guy was wonderful and kind and fucking professional, This cunt tried to goad me into her arresting me on 4 or 5 different occasions during that 15 minutes. Well, why didn't you just fucking re-register that time? Maybe she didn't say fuck. And then she's like going up and looking at the guy already had everything all set. And she's like, I got to check that VIN number. Blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And then at one point she goes, you can sit in his car now. Because I got out of the car. It was fucking hot in the truck. There's no AC in the truck. I'm like trying to stay cool. Now I got my work shirt off. I'm in my tank top. She goes, you can sit in his car. I said, why? Is he ready to go yet? She goes, you shouldn't be standing out here. I said, I have every right to stand out here, officer. So when he was coming back, I fucking sat in the car.
Is this an ugly woman?
I'll show you her fucking picture. She's obviously a fucking bull dyke cunt. Emiliano Mello.
Well, maybe
Lakeville, Massachusetts police officer.
Hopefully she'll die.
And known cunt. And I looked her up. She's a cunt. It's
what
her
was the
picture,
other officer doing while she was yelling at you?
talking to the tow guy and directing traffic. They were both kind of directing traffic because I was like near a storage unit and I didn't want to pull up on the nice grass. You know what I mean? It was kind of out in the middle of the road almost. So this fucking cunt. Oh, and then I get in the car finally when he's obviously on his way back. And I left the door open. I was going to close it when I was good and ready because you got the fucking glass here, right? Right in front of your face, 8 inches. There's glass here to your left. And the fucking window, it ain't rolling down. It's got bars on the window. The fucking AC is cranking up top, but it ain't cranking in the back. And I got a little claustrophobia as well going on in my life. You know what I mean? I always have been. I'm like, if I close this door and this motherfucker doesn't come over here for 10 more minutes, I'm going to start to freak out. You know what I mean? So I sat in and I left my right leg hanging out. She comes over and she starts to shut the door. And I didn't move my leg.
Do you want my Subaru? I got a Subaru wagon out back that I was going to fix. Do you want it?
Well, I think both vehicles are going to be all set. I'm in a bind for wheels for like a couple days. I got Dad's wheels, and he needs his wheels Friday and Saturday. So that's the only reason why I'm asking. I know you got that nice black car that you might want to let me borrow for a couple days. No, everything's going to be worked out fine. Why? What's up with that Subaru? What does that need? The truck's fine. Oh, so let me tell the story about the truck. So it turns out, we owe a little excise on it, and I got to go take it. So we already did all the research. Kat is going to go. Hey, I'm on the air. I got to call you back. Oh, no. What's wrong?
Pause it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to get it out of Hawk. It'll be out of Hawk Friday. So we're good. What's up with the Subaru?
What do you mean, what's up with it? It's out back.
No, I'm saying, what does it need?
Well, it needs a back window, and it needs a... there's a little exhaust leak.
All right, well, maybe we'll figure something out on that, and I'll get it out of here for you. And I'll have a third car.
Well, if you really need a car, it's there.
Yeah, no, I don't think I need a vehicle as much as I need to borrow one while I sort these other ones out. You know what I mean? That's all. But so on top of all that, right? So here's the weird thing.
My favorite car in the world.
The black car?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
I love that car.
So then I go to work, and
I'm not a car guy either.
Well, you're a things that go guy.
Well, I mean, I like it to run. Running's good.
Yeah. So, and then I go to work, and we've been doing this fucking dice pool for about 8 months since I've been there, where you shake. It's just like at the bar. You put in a buck, you get 3 shakes, and the pool builds until someone gets all 5 dice to match.
Mm-hmm.
You ever play that game? Kind of like Yahtzee, but it's 5 dice, and the only way to win the pot is if you hit. I hit it on the second shake, and I won $444.
Well, there you go.
After all that bad news, after a ride, and Kat had to come get me.
So is this
We went-
today?
yeah, it was today, this morning.
So this is, you lost your truck today?
Yeah, today.
Okay.
Today. So she came and got me. Luckily, she wasn't due in Chelmsford till 11. She got me by about 8:30, 8:40. We went and she borrowed her mother's car because her mother's in fucking Chicago for a week. She drove that. I drove Dad's car. And off we went. You know what I mean?
Everything works.
The perils of having no fucking car payment. Because if you have a car, actually, I'll take that back. She actually does have a fucking payment on the Nissan. But the problem with the Nissan is I fucking curbed it a month and a half ago. And
I ran it into a curb?
Yeah, so I destroyed the tire it had on it, and it never dawned on me that I probably did extensive fucking, steering fucking damage. And, I popped the ball joint, and on that, the ball joint is connected to the lower control arm, and, you know what I mean? It's like a whole scenario. But it's fixed. Her brother-in-law fixed it today. So we have that car, and I'm not going to get the red truck back till, I'm going to pay for it Friday night, because hopefully we'll be able to do Hoban the tax collector. I'm sure you're fucking familiar with that guy.
I haven't been in there in a long time.
At Hoban's up top?
No.
I have. And then the registry, and we'll have that taken out. So, but I did hit the jackpot, Joe. And here's the strange thing. I owe the town of Plymouth for various and different vehicles, not all past due, by the way. For all my vehicles, I owe them $442.12. And
so your dice roll is...
I hit a dice roll for $444. How fucking crazy is that?
That's crazy.
5 threes. Fucking... So, whatever. So I killed 12 minutes telling you the story about my fucking life. You know what I mean? Did you see that fucking reprobate non-fucking journalist Brian Ross is finally leaving ABC?
I saw it briefly.
You remember what he got that he filed a false report that basically Trump asked Flynn to intercede with the Russians or something, or approach the Russians.
Was he asked to leave?
All it says is that he's leaving. They're parting ways. I don't think it said that he was asked to leave. I think it said they agreed that he'll be leaving. It sounds like they went, all right, the fucking smoke is cleared.
Now you gotta go.
You can go away now.
I don't even know who he is.
He's a fucking cunt, who he is. He looks like a cunt. Like a shriveled up fucking man cunt. You know what I mean?
Is he just a wine drinking little...
Actually, that's
I know who he is. He's been around for a long time.
Well, obviously. Look at his fucking face. He's pretty road worn.
Well, they're all... I was listening to this morning, and it's just a slow... It's a very slow, painful thing to watch because, the New York Times is printing shit that they've never printed before. And I think it's a combination of, it's not just this president, but it's also the state of the newspaper business, which is just every year it's worse. And, it's eventually going to go away. I mean, and I think that the podcasts and the ability to get news from so many different sources now, other than these 24-hour cable news stations, are going to go away. I think they're circling the fucking drain.
Right.
Now, I don't know if the papers are going to go away. I think they'll become all digital. There'll come a time when there's no more newspapers. When they're not printing anything anymore. So I don't know whether that's in 10 years or 50.
I bet you it's more like 100 or more.
But they won't be printing them. And I think the
still print
deal
them.
is that the other thing that you think about a podcast, and if somebody has a guest on a podcast, and you could sit there and talk for 2.5 hours if you want to, or you can talk for 5 if you wanted to. Meaning it's a very long. It's not this 6-minute, if you're lucky, on either network news or cable news. And it's also not, 6 heads in one of those fucking boxes, each one in a box all screaming at each other and trying to say the most outrageous shit to just get some airtime. So, I don't know. I gave it up. This weekend was the last. I tried to watch some of these because I don't watch any news during the week. And then I record the Sunday shows, like 5 of them, and I'd watch maybe 2. I've given that up. I'm not recording them anymore. So I think my television news is over with.
Well,
because you can find out what's going on, and you can get a really in-depth, if you want to. You can get a very... I mean, I'm either interested in a headline, like, you can find out who the next Supreme Court justice is going to be as soon as they announce it. You know what I mean? That'll be everywhere. And then if you want to read up on the guy, you can find that out too. And you can probably hear some very interesting talk on podcasts about who the guy is. Not a 2-minute thing on TV about, what some asshole who's on the other side of the, who thinks he's either conservative or liberal or whatever he is.
Right.
And how horrible he's going to be or how great he's going to be. It's ridiculous. So I believe they're just the news. I think it's just coming to an end.
Yeah, the
You know
print
what I mean?
news you're saying, and the TV
I think
news.
the TV news. I think cable news. I don't think there's any reason for it anymore. I mean, what?
It's still a means to get advertising dollars. It's still a viable.
1980 was the birth of CNN. So 1980 was, cable wasn't. I don't think we didn't have cable in 1980 at my house, and certainly we didn't have no cell phones, no internet, no computers, nothing.
Right.
So now it's 40 years later, and I think it's run its course.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's going to be done. It's going to be done next week, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think there'll be cable news in 10 years. And if there is, it's going to be. It ain't going to be anything like it is today, because I don't think they're going to get the revenue for it. I think the shit, like, not that we're news, but there are podcasts out there with newscasters that have quit the business, that interview legit people,
Right.
and you can get. So if you want to get, there's always going to be a compilation of news, like a Drudge Report or Real Clear Politics, where they just kind of round up everything in the country or everything in the world that's going on. You know what I mean? And you can just choose it by headline. You'll always have that. I mean, there's plenty more of those than I just know of. Drudge and Real Clear Politics seems to be, a popular one. But I don't see any reason why. I don't know. I can't watch it anymore. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's repetitive, and they make stories up. They make shit up. I mean, they'll make a woman's gone missing. Where is the woman? We don't know. She's missing. Who is she?
Not quite sure.
And like when that fucking plane went missing, I mean, this is, CNN was sort of like, for a while, was sort of like the middle down the road between MSNBC and Fox News. And they've just become, it's garbage.
The Communist News Network.
Well, if you have the fucking porn woman have his lawyer on 150 fucking times, then there's something wrong with that. And there's nothing new to add. You know what I mean? There's nothing. It's just to have somebody. It's filler. So, but their ratings keep dropping, all of them. So it's because people aren't watching. It's not going from People's kids aren't watching it.
Are those ratings being dispersed amongst other TV programming, or is that the whole thing just...
I think TV in general is kind of in trouble.
Well, TV itself can still... I mean, you can still access whatever, the internet and everything by your TV.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know that. I mean, TV as we know it.
Like cable TV, you think is probably on its way
network, network TV and cable TV. I mean, it's... I still see the network sticking around because they got a lot of... it's tough to... It's tough to kill that audience. There's still enough people that are, will watch like us. Well, I mean, 30 minutes of news is all they used to have.
Right.
And that's probably all you really need.
30 minutes local, 30 minutes national and world.
So
30 minutes local, 30 minutes network, sorry.
Shit, you can get, and I don't have this, but you can get, like, if something happens, you can have it flash onto your phone.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, everything's changed.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't have to go through a news, network news service to get that, or a cable news service.
People will always be sitting in front of something with a big screen, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and putting their feet up and watching a show.
I watch a lot of YouTube now.
It's just going to be delivered
on TV.
all by the fucking internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, YouTube on TV. And I spent a lot of time on Amazon and Netflix and...
The thing is it spurred all that new and extra content, and you might be right with the traditional networks going away, and maybe even some cable stations, but they'll still have that internet presence. So I'd like to think that there'll still be a lot of programming choices. There won't be less, but you're right. The delivery system will be. There's still people. Well, they figured out, by the way, how to make antennas better. You don't have to have cable or now they have those fucking. See those box antennas people put on their wall? And you can get like 40 stations, and it comes in pisser most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know if that's called HD TV. I don't know what
you can put them up in your attic. I mean, you just have to have a clear line of sight, kind of, to the, to close you are to Boston or wherever they probably, it's out in Needham or something where they broadcast where the big towers are.
Yeah, a lot of people you can fucking still get TV without
cable.
And
it's digital TV.
Yeah, right, it's digital.
It's HD TV.
Right, exactly.
I bought a couple of antennas. I'd need to go up into the attic, and I'm just too lazy to fucking do it.
Oh, you're going to give it a go, just experiment with it?
Yeah, but I think...
of course you are. Things that plug in, man.
I really think that I'm going to can the cable because I'm just not watching it anymore. And now that I won't even watch like the Sunday shows. Why have it?
I do like the also because I have it as part of my wife's compensation package. But
you get it because your wife works.
What
at
I'm
Comcast,
saying is no, she doesn't.
Comcast,
right? So anyway,
isn't it Comcast?
She said it, not me. I mean, he said it, not me.
Lola. What are you doing, honey?
But what I'm saying is the whole on-demand thing is wonderful because literally everything that's anywhere on that motherfucker is on demand. So you can get programming at your fucking... why don't I turn this down?
Why don't you turn it off?
I am. Why don't you get...
Put it in a fridge.
You still got programming at your fingertips with cable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's still superior to how it's delivered over the internet to your TV. It's tough to get everything still on internet free. You know what I mean? Or low cost.
Well, you're not going to get...
You got to have a subscription to Hulu, a subscription to Netflix, a subscription to this.
And you have to pay for, if you want HBO, if you want Showtime, you have to pay for that.
Yeah, they have packages and shit, though. It's just... Oh, you mean on cable? Or internet?
On internet.
Oh, you can get it on internet. All right, see.
Yeah, like you can go to Amazon... And I believe you can go to Netflix, but I've seen it on Amazon more because I spend more time on Amazon than Netflix. But you can buy Showtime for $8 a month or whatever.
Do you go to Hulu at all?
I have Hulu.
Have you done The Handmaid's Tale yet? That's supposed to be all the rage. I got to figure out how to get Hulu. That's the one thing we don't have.
Hulu, if you have any kind of platform like the Amazon Fire.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've got.
I got
or a Roku box.
I got Xfinity fucking talk to the fucking thing, whatever that is, X1 or some
I think
shit.
I think you can get.
Oh, you can pay extra for Hulu. You're right. No, you're right. Because we do pay extra for Netflix. It's the only thing we pay extra for.
Yeah, I mean, you got to.
Netflix, what a fucking business model, huh, man? They figured that shit out before, literally on the precipice before everyone else did. They fucking set the standard of a new way to fucking watch shit. You know what I mean?
It's so funny, and I thought they'd be gone.
Well, originally, remember what they were? They were the fucking original mail, the fucking order the thing
DVD
and
to
then
you.
mail it back to them.
I thought they were going to be gone.
But they get a totally different business model now, you know?
Well, the guy that's running it has way more vision than I thought he did.
Is it the same guy? It's not like they got bought out and then they did something new?
I don't think so. I think
I
it's the
believe
same
you.
guy. And I mean,
He's probably got good people around him because they fucking...
and it was the writing was on the wall. I mean,
Yeah.
you see all the video stores closing, and you go, it's time.
Yeah.
So they set themselves up right. So on top of original programming is huge because the quality of the content, of course, is important. And of course, it's got to work, and it doesn't seem to be affected so far by this wipeout of the net neutrality. I think Comcast would be stupid to start throttling down on various. I think it would piss customers off. People already fucking hate the cable company.
Right.
Why give people another reason?
Right.
And then it'll officially come out, because you could sit there and go, the cable company's fucking with me because my Netflix keeps going out. But if they're doing it for real, it would officially come out somewhere.
Right.
They'd have some fucking insider spill the beans. You know the deal. Nobody can keep anything secret. So,
Well, there's always some fucking disgruntled employee all too ready to just leak fucking proprietary
Yeah.
information. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
they don't
maybe-
even need to be fucking compensated. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You got to figure, and the bigger these companies to get,
most leaks aren't compensated for at all.
you figure there's fucking some standard fucking, standard fucking, what's the word? Spread of the percentage of people in any given situation who are disgruntled and ready to leak. You know what I mean? So the more employees you gain, maybe the percentage stays the same, but more people might fucking leak your shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why, the U.S. government, the biggest fucking company in the world, people are leaking all over the place in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot. Well, there's
Although they got nothing to be disgruntled about unless they're hired by the administration. If they're a lifetime bureaucrat, I bet you none of them lifetime bureaucrats are leaking shit because they're all set. You know what I mean?
no. I think they leak a lot of shit.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially if they're registered Democrats.
Well,
Which
you
most
got-
of them probably are anyway.
You got a lot of people in the EPA that were, that's one of the things that people, I don't know whether people get or not, is that the politician part is at the very high end. But these organizations and institutions they can kind of run by themselves for a while.
They
You know
don't
what I
need
mean?
they don't need a cabinet secretary to run them.
Yeah, it's
know what
not
I
like when Hillary Clinton became Secretary of State, she doesn't go in there and have to hire 25,000 people.
No, she hires the
she's
people
just
in her office. That's it.
Yeah,
And actually, some of
brings
them
along a few crooks.
Some of them have probably worked for. Some of the people in her office probably worked for 6 or 7 fucking secretaries of state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's not and that's true. Not to pick her out, but
No.
that's true for all of them.
Yeah.
I've been watching this thing. Al.
How's Mike Pompeo doing? I wonder what he's on to now. He did fucking a banner job with fucking North Korea, didn't he?
I don't
He
know.
fucking banged that right out for the Donald. By the way, your head looks great.
I've been going deep. I'm going deeper.
Speaking of deep, that deep cut you had on your head looks like it's healing.
It is.
How long did you have the butterflies on? I figured they'd still be on, man.
No, 2 or 3 days.
That's it, huh? And did you glue it up, or was it just the butterflies?
I was gonna glue it, but I didn't know. When I put the butterflies on,
Yeah.
it did the trick. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was gonna glue it, but I'm like, do you put it on the outside? You know, and I was trying to
I
find
think
something.
you kind of like spackle over it type of scenario. You know what I mean?
And do you have to have it completely stop bleeding?
Yeah. You got to hold. It has to be stop bleeding. Then somebody holds it together, and you just kind of, literally, you know what I'm saying? Like you mud over it with the shit. You know what I mean?
With super glue.
With super glue.
And I've got this super glue that's got it's super fuck.
Super sticky.
No, it's got, most super glue is like water. It has no viscosity.
It's gel. The shit
This is more of it's got a little it's like motor oil.
Yeah, I know what you're
So
saying.
it's super glue, which smells just like super glue, but it's got a little viscosity.
Yeah, no,
to
that's
it.
the good shit. That's what we like.
So, but I didn't do it on this one.
No
need. No need.
That liquidy stuff can't even really glue your fingers together because it'll hurt. But if you glue your fingers with that liquidy stuff, you can go like that and get them apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can pull a layer of skin.
But with
off.
some shit, you're just not gonna get it apart. I forget what the homemade fucking super glue talk. Sorry, everybody.
No,
whatever. You got to
super glue is. That's a one.
Listen, they had super glue rules. I used to say every household needs duct tape and a fucking and vice grips, but
yeah, I mean you can do.
But
a
you
lot
need
of
some
shit
super
with
glue.
some paper towel. I mean, you can stop some severe bleeding.
Yeah.
With a roll of duct tape and some paper towels.
By the way, they use a type of super glue in some surgical and emergency fucking settings.
I know.
They literally use glue.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because it fucking works. Because like you said last time, it's kind of like having a hydraulic leak. As long as you stop the fucking leaking, it's going to be fine, probably. You know what I mean? Barring any real internal damage.
I'll tell you what. I woke up, the day that I did this.
Yeah.
And we did the podcast.
It was Tuesday. It was last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Or was it 2 Tuesdays?
And I did a
it was
little
last
drinking,
Tuesday.
which is probably stupid.
You were hammered.
Yeah. Was that the night? Was Gabby?
Gabby was here that night.
All right. So it was
I
last
got a
Tuesday.
picture. Keep talking.
So I woke up at 2:00 in the morning, and my head started bleeding. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether I, hit it, but I didn't have any bandages on because I took the bandage off. Nothing was bleeding.
Yeah.
I cleaned up around it, went to bed. So it's bleeding, and I mean, I went to the bathroom. And holding my hands together, it cupped like this, two hands together. So,
shit!
and I had a puddle of blood in my hands coming off my head. So, I mean, this is a serious amount of blood coming out.
That was you last Tuesday.
Yeah, there it is.
The old headband and paper fucking towel ploy.
Yeah. I kept working for 3 more hours.
I'm starting to accumulate some fucking photographs for the fucking. By the way, here's another one. You don't do the Facebook or Instagram thing. This one right here. This was on vacation.
Yes.
Fucking Cool Ranch Doritos in the shower after a 3 margarita lunch are delicious.
Yes.
She
yes,
was
they are.
Wasted. That was like 12:30 in the afternoon. Wasted. And what the fuck else? Where were we going? Oh, I said Mike Pompeo. You were looking into something. We were talking about Secretary of State's something or other.
Well, there's no. I haven't heard what the situation is with North Korea. I did hear a little rumbling that, that the Rocket Man is not going to stick with his deal. But this wasn't like I don't think they. This wasn't like Trump agreed to everything and he was going to do it tomorrow, with Little Rocket Man. This is going to take a year. There's an angry,
Jesus
angry
Christ,
Joe.
Kid. Well, yeah, no. If to hear our guys or the boss's guys tell it, fucking when Donald withdrew. Before the June 12th thing, because they announced it, then he withdrew, and then they still did it June 12th. When he withdrew, to hear the people tell it, fucking Kim's people fucking begged, and Kim was begging because he figured it gave him some sort of. I could totally see him not holding up any of his promises. By the way, you know what I mean? I mean, it probably behooves him because I'm not sure he's cognizant of this or not. Donald will bomb them. He'll do it.
Well, this has been, I think, this has been building up for decades.
Yeah, like 60, 70 years.
And I believe, I think I know this to be true, but I'll say it as I believe this to be true because I don't know for sure. But it has always been through Bush administration, probably Clinton. I think it's always been they've had nuclear weapons for a long time.
Right.
That we know of in North Korea.
They just weren't able to deliver
They
them.
can't, yeah. So it's not really a big threat if they can't get it here.
Right.
But if they can get it here, I don't think you can have that. So I think it's always been understood that
The second you can get it here,
then we have to fucking, it's time.
let's get it on, stupid.
Well, I think it's time to just fucking, bomb them. And I don't know whether you nuke the place. I don't know what happens. But you have to, I would believe, I think the first thing you would do is you'd say to China, we're going to fucking bomb them. What do you want to do?
There go. You'll go right ahead.
I know, because they have a huge border with China.
No, I know, but it's like...
And that China's their number one trading partner. So
are they their sponsor?
Well,
I think Kim's his own sponsor at this point, right? He don't need China, does he?
Oh, yeah.
You think he does need
Well, what
them?
do you think they
No,
get
no,
all
I
their-
don't mean as far as
their
the trade.
goods?
No, I know. I understand that as far as the trading goes. I just meant as far as... He's not like, you Chinese, you protect me from Donald. You know what I mean? That's not going on.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think they have any kind of like...
Military arrangement.
no, I don't believe so.
It's not even like NATO-y or anything. You
But they
figured it
buy,
would be.
China will buy coal and shit and raw materials from North Korea, and they'll buy finished goods from China.
Right.
I think that's the deal. And I don't know what they do. I don't know what China does with people that get over the border into China. I don't know whether they take them as asylum seekers or they just throw them back.
Send them back to North Korea.
I believe if they send them back, they're immediately killed.
Yeah, right. Fed right to some dogs. You know
Just,
what
I mean? It's a horrible regime.
Or even, they're fed to the dogs, or they go to the dog food factory.
And this is a problem.
I just opened can of Alpo. It looked like Uncle Kim.
I mean, this is a good human interest story, and I didn't even pay much attention to it. But who was the guy? There was an American that got caught in North Korea, right?
Well, he was a Korean American, but he was American. Yeah, he was a missionary, right? Is that who you're talking about?
And this is recent.
Yeah, and they got.
And they did something to him, like they fucking fried his brain with some sort of chemical,
I think they.
and then he died.
Yeah, I think they penetrated his anus hole with some electrodes type of scenario.
They did something to him,
Yeah.
let him go, and he made it back here or made it into U.S. hands somewhere and then died.
He made it as far as he didn't even come. They went the other way. They brought him to Europe because it was closer than Los Angeles for some reason.
And he died
He ended
there.
up in Germany, in some fucking Eastern Germany fucking, or maybe it was Poland. NATO doesn't have shit in Poland, do we? Is Poland part of NATO?
Of course.
All right, yeah, so I think it was Poland, now that I'm thinking about it.
They brought him to Poland.
Instead of fucking Los Angeles or San Francisco, because it was closer. I don't know. There's not much. They could have brought him down to fucking Guam or something, but they probably don't have much for fucking facilities there. You know what I mean? The guy was in desperate measures.
Well, he's dead.
Yes, he is. You know who's also is dead? And this is...
Who's dead?
I tried to use this story as a teaching moment for my son, who is currently... Well, maybe after today he is, because they weren't stuck in the car together. But my son is doing the not talking thing to my daughter because he's blaming her for his broken hand because he's immature. You know what I mean? She didn't break your hand, you idiot. You know
You
what I mean?
punched the wall.
You punched the fucking thing. So, yeah, she shouldn't have nagged you, but don't hold it against her for the rest of your life. It's your fucking sister. And the one thing I always told my kids from when they were little was stop arguing, hug each other. One day, when me and Mom are gone, there's a distinct possibility that all you're going to have in this world is each other. At some fucking point. That's all you're going to have is each other.
I know.
So
I worry about that with my own kid. I think, it's kind of... Because my kid's an only child.
Yeah.
And I kind of think, fuck. Maybe
it's
I
not
should
too
have
late,
had
Joe.
another one. Oh, no. Yeah, it is. It's fucking too late for me.
It's not too late,
No.
dude.
That is a horrible thought.
It's probably too late for old Patricia, too. Not old. I mean, you know what I meant. I wasn't calling her old.
I don't think a 55-year-old woman is going to be giving birth anytime soon.
I think
that's
women
all
do
done.
give birth that late, but not too often. Like, you really got to be into it.
Oh, yeah. You have to... I believe it's happened.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen.
I think the oldest, because I used to read that Guinness Book of World Records, even back when I read it in the 70s and 80s, the oldest lady to give birth was like 57. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was a weird phenomenon. You know what I mean? Now people pay
the thing is,
$100,000, $200,000, $300,000
now
for
that
shit.
I'll be 55 in August. Now that I get, you keep kicking the bar, moving the bar further down. 50 isn't old. 60 isn't old.
Right.
And then you go.
So anyway, we've had our friend Eugene here before.
Yes.
And Eugene and his sister.
Is he banging his sister?
No. She died, and
Oh,
she hasn't
that's
talked to him
terrible.
in a year. And he actually tried. They had a very public, ugly battle on Facebook, which was stupid. That's the other thing. And then she wasn't talking to him, and her health was bad. She was in failing health for a couple of years. So he tried to reach out to her a couple times. Towards the end, she's a psycho who wasn't. Had some infection, went to the fucking hospital, ripped the shit out, went home. The infection got worse. They got all her fucking medications right. They took her off some shit. She had a grand mal seizure, had 2 heart attacks. Later that night, they medevaced her to fucking, one of the big hospitals up in Boston. She was in Milford. And she died. And he hasn't talked to her in a year after trying to talk to her. So I told I told my ex this story in front of my son and my father. We had a birthday one of the many birthday parties, because the Capozzi family does birthday parties. One of the nephews was having his birthday party over at Paul. And everyone was outside, and the 4 of us, all of a sudden, Evan came walking in, because me and Dad were hiding. We were in the AC. Everybody's outside in the heat. I'm like, fuck that, man. I'll watch anything you want to watch, Dad. You know what I mean? And with his emphysema, he can't even be in the humidity. He's got to be he has to be in air conditioning, or he can't breathe, which sucks, by the way.
No shit.
So
I didn't think he had.
He has emphysema and COPD. And if it's humid out, he goes like this.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So anyway,
Tell me what the COPD is again.
Something obstructive pulmonary disorder, cardiac obstructive pulmonary disorder, something like that. So anyway,
I might have to type it in here.
so I waited till Evan walked through, and I looked at Anya and I went, by the way, Eugene's sister died, and they haven't spoke in a year, and now she's dead. I was waiting for Evan's ears to perk up, And they did, and he goes, How's Gene feel about that? I went, he's fucking devastated.
Is he?
He's fucking devastated. Of course
is he
is.
devastated? I mean, of course,
He's devastated
about her loss, but is he upset that he didn't talk to her?
Yeah. His heart is broken.
Okay.
His heart is broken. I talked to him yesterday because he announced it on. Everybody knew anyway because they both had big Facebook
I'm
presence.
telling you, it's amazing. Going back to what I don't know what she had, but it sounds like
Lupus and liver shit.
but it's infection. There is.
It brought on by the fact that she had a really bad immune system.
My wife won't come on our program because she
Because the last time she was shit-faced and wicked funny?
She hates the sound of her voice. I don't know why. I said, your voice is fine.
You just got to get used to it.
It's terrible. I lisp. I'm like, you don't lisp. I mean, I listen to her. But there is...
Well, she lisps a little.
Here's two things going on, all right? And this is to talk... We'll stay on the theme of Gene's sister. But I know somebody. This is Bob Malone's brother, okay? Who lost his kidneys because he didn't take care of his teeth. All right? So he had infections in his mouth.
Yep. Yeah.
And didn't take care of it. And
you hear about that.
And it started to shut all his organs down.
Right.
Because he had a massive infection.
Right.
That goes throughout your whole body. So he lost his kidney. He's dead now. And it's amazing how, and I'm like, what do you mean he lost? How does that happen? And the mouth, inside your mouth, it's such a gateway to the rest of your body. And my dog,
it's a big gaping maw that you have there.
Right. And my and I'm not talking about, of course you can swallow shit, but I'm talking about get into your bloodstream. The infection will just spread everywhere. My daughter had a wisdom tooth, and like this is she's like in the 1%ers, where the wisdom tooth was in such a fashion where if the dentist screwed up, one side of her face would be numb for the rest of her life. Now, I don't know whether it's numb and you lose motor control, so it doesn't matter. But she had the tooth removed because the tooth was rotted. And I mistakenly said, well, you got to take care of your fucking teeth. I mean, I paid a lot for those braces, and it had nothing to do with that. It was just this tooth. It's like, I don't know whether it's supposed to be there or not.
It was a rogue tooth.
It was a rogue tooth, and it was in a weird spot. She had it pulled out. But she told me she's been on antibiotics for the last 4 months.
Wow.
With like a bladder infection and shit.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Anna, why didn't you get that taken care of? And I think it's a result of having this constant infection that you can't fight.
Yeah, you got to fucking take care of your mouth, man.
And it's not good to be on the antibiotics for that long because they become non-effective.
I did the abscessed fucking wisdom tooth thing for a while before I dealt with it. And my old man used to always say it. He's like, you can't, even if they give you the fucking antibiotics, you can't just keep getting a fucking infection. Go get those fucking things out, will you? I'll drive you. Just get them out.
Yeah.
And he talked me into it finally. I was bullheaded about it, and they, you know what I mean?
Well, if you had some rot in your head.
I had an infection. I never had rot. Who knows? I don't know if those motherfuckers. Because my wisdom teeth never crowned ever. They never got up above my gums.
So you had them pulled out because they were causing infection.
Yeah.
So either they were infected, probably because part of them were dead.
Well, there was there was literally like an abscess, and food gets down there, and you can't brush it out, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, you got to get them out.
Other than that, I got nice teeth.
You got to get them out.
I just had my daughter make me an appointment at the dentist. I haven't been there in a while.
The other thing that's huge, and I initially learned
it's definitely not my penis. Go ahead.
From my wife, but I hear I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, which is an awesome podcast.
It's the podcast.
There's a reason why. There's people that have been around longer that don't have the numbers. I mean, I think Rogan has...
Yeah, but he's good at it.
I think like 16 million people listen to each episode.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of people.
It's something like that.
Oh, my God. At least parts of it. They can't tell if they listen to all of it. But
the thing about Joe Rogan is, and if you know Joe Rogan from Fear Factor, you go...
UFC.
He looks like a meathead, but
News
he's
radio.
not. He's a smart guy. He's a great interviewer.
We talked about him last week. He's a great stand-up, too. His stand-up's amazing.
Yes, he's a great stand-up comedian. Although Chris Rock said Joe Rogan willed himself to be a great stand-up comedian.
Fine. That's what it takes, man.
Like he wasn't a natural. But that's neither here nor there. There's so many people that have changed their diet. He had somebody on there that had like a hip replaced at 16, a knee replaced at 20. By 30, they were fucking in a wheelchair. And they changed their diet. They took out everything, like they're eating just meat.
Yeah, meat's good.
Just meat. Like not even vegetables.
Right.
And all of the problems went away.
That's crazy.
And it's almost hard to believe.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not.
But
I believe
this
it.
happened to my wife. My wife had this thing where she got vertigo, and it was all kind of connected into the, the change and stuff like that. Because, when she approached...
Vertigo bone is connected to the menopause bone.
If she eats gluten, she has this spot on her leg where you can see it still, but she will get a rash like 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a gluten thing, and she'll feel shitty too. And I thought it was bullshit because I can eat pretty much everything and it doesn't affect me. The only thing, if I eat a lot of carbohydrates, it makes me tired. Of
makes
course.
me tired too. That's why I don't eat any carbs anymore. I don't eat them and I don't drink them. Believe it or not,
you're a unique
I'm off
character
of it.
because you.
And I feel great, by the way. I'm sleeping great.
Somehow
I gotta
you have
get
that
to the
discipline.
gym though. I gotta get to the fucking gym. That's what it takes, man.
For those of you who because I don't think we've ever discussed this, Al is a big guy.
Even when I'm skinny,
Even when
I'm
he's
big.
Skinny, but Al has
My
this
fighting
thing
weight is
where,
227. My fighting weight is 227.
Since I've known him, he's probably done this half a dozen times where he gets very large, and then he goes on, he says, fuck this, I'm tired of being fat, and then he goes on a diet and quits drinking, and he goes to the gym, and he'll lose 50, 60, 70. What's the most you've ever lost?
Last time I lost, technically, I went from 305 to 222 at my lowest, so that's 83 pounds. That was my biggest one. But I settled back.
Huge. That's like a small girl.
I settled back in at 227 for months before I started getting fat again because I worked out. But that's what I settled in at, 227. 222 was too light, and I didn't feel right. And I maintained 227 for about 5-6 months. That's my fighting weight. I used to think it was 235, but it's not. 227 is my fighting weight. So at the end of the day, yeah, it was over 80, but it was really under 70. This time I got up to 335. I'm down to about 285 now, so I've lost 50, believe it or not. But I got another.
I do believe it.
I got another.
Because you were big.
As big as ever. Big as ever.
Well, like, when you get so big, your arms
are
out,
yeah,
and your arms are back to like normal.
Almost normal, yeah. So, but I will lose over 100 pounds this time because I will get to 227 again. So it'll be 108, I promise. It'll be 108. Can you imagine? And I can't do it again. I think I'm running out of time on the old up and down thing. They say it's bad to do anyway if you do that your whole life. And, of course, I'm just the poster child for it. I'm just a fucking heart attack waiting to happen. At least I haven't smoked in over
you mean
a year.
As far as
by the way, I quit.
Loss?
Yeah, believe it's been over a year for me with the
going
smokes.
up and down with weight is a bad thing?
That's what they say. They say it's really bad. Like
Meaning it's better to just be fat?
Well, or settle in it halfway in between or something. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't care. I've had a good life. I'm going to be skinny again for the end of it. You know what I mean?
Well, I've always been 20. I'm like the same weight, and I can never like I should lose 20 pounds.
But you got muscle tone and everything. You just want I think they call that a metamorph. There's mesomorphs, endomorphs, and metamorphs, and you got that fucking. You're built like a fucking triangle on fucking legs, a reverse triangle on legs, and you got muscle tone.
I got my grandfather's physique. He was just an animal. But I didn't have it as a kid, I was skinny.
You were very skinny.
I was a
absolutely
skinny
Yeah,
kid.
but guys change. They said, you thicken out until you're 30 almost. You grow until you're 25, and then you thicken a little bit. You know what I mean? And then,
but losing
depending on what you eat and drink,
losing weight is tough.
I bet you dollars for donuts. If you quit all beer and ate like your wife eats, I bet you'd get right down to 185 or less.
But then
160.
then what do you do with
What
yourself?
fun is that? Right. No,
That's
I
no
hear you.
fun.
No, like I said, I want to get back down, and I'm not giving up partying, but I'm giving it up for a little while. There were at points today I thought I was going to start drinking. Then I hit that fucking dice pool, and I went, yes. Oh, shit, now I really might start drinking. I got a little drinking money here, you know what I mean? I'm going to buy a bag of weed on the way home after the show. Fuck it. I'm not going to drink. You know what I'm saying, Joe?
I think the weed's better.
Well, it is, and, it doesn't pack on the calories, because that's the other thing. I have the willpower not to eat, so where you might get the munchies when you smoke, I'll just eat a can of green beans or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
I won't eat bread or candy or shit, I'll drink chicken broth or some shit, I'm just no more artificial shit for a while. I'll tell you what, I'm fucking regular as fuck.
That's
nice.
nice.
You know how like when I come here, usually I'm like, I don't know if I have to shit. I might have to shit. You know what I mean?
That's good to know, Al. I want to know about your
I shit at 6:30 a.m. and like 1:30 in the afternoon.
how
after
your
lunch.
bathroom habits are
Listen,
going.
it's important.
just-
Bathroom habits
very,
are funny.
I want to know it all.
Hey, listen, I have a
Tell me everything.
I know I ask you a lot of favors. I've already asked you one. Can I ask you another one?
You can
It's
ask.
not that important. We're gonna just have a 1-hour show tonight.
Oh, that's fine.
How does that sound?
That's fine.
In observance of July 4th, Independence Day.
Of course. Look, as long as we put a show out,
I'm just, as you know,
there's
every night of the
nobody's listening. We don't have that many listeners, and we know why. And it's going to take a long time, but especially right around now that the 4th of July.
there's less people listening to us who are working than who are working tomorrow.
Yeah.
And nobody's working tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you work in fucking retail, they still make those people work. It sucks. July 4th, nothing should be open. Christmas, nothing should be open. And Thanksgiving, nothing should be open. Nothing.
Well,
It's just the way it should be.
It's going to get exciting when whoever this Supreme Court nominee is.
Have you seen any list, a short list or a medium list or a long list? I haven't. I haven't been paying attention.
I haven't,
I wonder if there's any women on it.
but they
Why don't we just have a fully female Supreme Court?
the people are very afraid that they're going to overturn this Roe v. Wade.
They can't overturn Roe v. Wade. It's done. It's done. It neither should be overturned or can be overturned. It's law.
It's really a horribly written. It was a horribly decided law
Yeah.
based on. I read it years ago.
There's no real precedence for the Supreme Court overturning another Supreme Court, is there? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I could be full of shit.
Well, they talk about stare decisis a lot.
What's that, please?
Precedent.
Yeah.
Because they love to say stare decisis
Well, that's it. That's what I'm saying. They're not gonna
in
rule
Latin. That's a
against
really
another
important
Supreme
thing.
Court.
Respecting past courts precedent.
It just
However, if it's written, if the law came from shit,
Yeah.
kind of like the gay rights law,
right.
I wouldn't be surprised. Here's what happens. Okay, so say you get a really conservative court, right? Which, if Ruth Bader Ginsburg retires, because you never know what you're going to get. Some of these, Anthony Kennedy was Robert. They wanted to put Robert Bork on the court. So
He never made it.
I think that was H.W. Bush. Robert Bork was,
I believe that was Reagan.
or Reagan.
Wait a minute. Who appointed? Which one appointed Clarence Thomas? Was that Poppy? That was
I think
Bush
that
Senior?
was Poppy.
Then I think Clarence Thomas was the.
Well, Anthony Kennedy
the
was
one
the
who-
second choice after they kicked out Bork.
Oh, okay.
And Kennedy's been, a very,
Well, he was 1988, right?
he is,
No, even longer, 84.
as far as
That was Reagan.
If you're a conservative,
Yeah.
he wasn't a really great pick. I mean, he's rode the fence on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote the opinion for the gay marriage.
Right.
So if you're a conservative, you're not happy about that.
Right.
But so they really want to make sure they get a conservative. But what I'm saying is, if Trump spends 8 years in office, there's no way. I don't think Ginsburg can hang in there for.
Listen,
She's trying to hang in there.
She will die.
Praying someone will get beat.
Yeah, no,
will
she'll
beat Trump,
no,
and then
she's gonna die.
She can quit and have a Democrat replace her with somebody that's reasonable.
It's gonna kill her. You know what I mean? Whatever. Life is gonna kill her. You know
And
what I mean?
then what happens is this. Then you'll have states that ban gay marriage. You know what I mean?
Then when?
When the deck gets stacked
Oh, I see
at
what
the
you're
Supreme Court
Yeah.
level,
Yeah.
then
Yeah, places like
you're gonna-
Virginia will do that.
they're gonna- and the same thing's going to happen with
Utah.
abortion. The state's going to come out and ban abortion. This is what they're afraid of.
Right.
And then it's going to be taken back to the Supreme Court, and they're afraid that they're going to overturn it. Now, I think it's been around for so long that I don't see that happening. You know?
What, the Roe v. Wade thing?
I don't see that that's going to get overturned.
It's never going to get overturned. It's just
I
it
wouldn't
won't
say
get
that.
overturned.
I
Not
wouldn't
in our
say that.
lifetime. How's that, Joe? How's that?
There's a lot of speech shit that I hope gets overturned. Some of the shit that I'm dealing with now. These fucking assholes want to shut speech down, which is getting a little frightening.
Well, you'd like to think that if by the time Trump's done, if he had his way with the fucking court, he might get 3 or 4. That,
Well, I don't know. Is there anybody else that's old? It's just Ginsburg, and then it's who the fuck else is there? Thomas is old.
Yeah, Thomas has definitely got it.
There's Kagan, Sotomayor, Ginsburg, and who's the other liberal on the court?
the other broad. There's 3 broads. Oh no, you already
No,
named them. Yeah,
3
sorry.
broads and a guy.
I don't know. Is it Souter? Is he still there, or is he gone?
I don't know.
I forget. He's still there.
All right. Well, Al's taking off.
Yeah,
We're doing a short show.
yeah.
And, hey, if you like our show, tell a friend. If you don't like our show, tell a friend.
If you don't like our show, please tell a friend.
And
eat shit.
yeah, go fuck
You
yourself.
could just fuck yourself and your mother, all right?
Stick a fucking cock up your ass. And
Fucking knuckle fucking deep in
yeah,
a dog,
put
probably.
your own fist in your ass, you fucking whores.
Up,
And
whole thumb up a dog's
but
ass.
have a wonderful 4th of July. And we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Thursday.
No, Thursday.
Yeah,
What's
yeah. We're
today?
gonna be.
Today is Tuesday.
We are gonna do another show Thursday.
Absolutely.
Happy 4th of July, Joe.
Yes, you too, Al.
Good night.